Let's talk anchors. If you stick around to the end, I'll tell you about the one anchor I absolutely hate.
This is gonna piss somebody off, I can just feel it.
Hey guys, Captain Derek here from SV Bully. Today we're anchored in Roach Harbor with beautiful weather, great views, dozens of other boats, and it's all possible because of one thing, an anchor. The question is, which one? There are dozens of anchors on the market today, and hundreds that have been tried throughout the years. Some stood the test of time, others didn't. So which one's right for you? Well, the truth is, I don't know. But I can tell you a thing or two about anchoring. For the past year, my family and I have lived aboard Bully full time. And other than the time it takes to travel from island to island, or the random night at a marina here and there, all of that time has been spent at anchor. We've seen 6-foot swells, 50-knot winds, kelp bottoms, rock bottoms, mud bottoms, sand and gravel bottoms. We've seen people drag anchor right next to us. We left our boat unattended for 2 weeks during the holidays. Like we literally got on a plane and flew away. And I can honestly say, we've never dragged an inch. So why is that? Why do so many boaters drag anchor? And we, who are out here all of the time anchoring in various places, have never dragged. Look, it's not like I have some magical anchor or nautical parking brake installed on the boat. Our day is coming. Everyone that drops anchor at some point in time will drag. Hopefully it's just a little, they catch it in time, it's not catastrophic, and all goes well. But make no mistake, there are 3 types of boaters. Those that have dragged, those that will drag in the future, and those that leave their boats tied up to the dock. Forever. So no, our secret is not that we have some magical anchor. Really what it comes down to is something that I like to call TNT.
Cut. TNT, really?
What?
That's so cheesy. We're not using that. Run it again.
It comes down to something that I like to call tackle and technique. TNT. Your tackle is the type of rode and anchor you use, while your technique is the method that you use to deploy it. So while there might be better anchors than others out there, even a great anchor won't make up completely for bad technique. But great technique might be enough to make up a little bit for a garbage anchor. Even if all you had was a bucket and chain, that might be enough to hold you for a while if your technique was spot on. And now, with all that said, here's our tackle. We run a 73-pound Vulcan anchor by Rockna. She's a spade-style anchor with a large curved shank that acts as a roll bar to keep her upright. Along with that, we have over 300 feet of solid chain. So yeah, we're packing some heat.
Cut. Dude, stick to the script.
And as for our technique, well, let's go over how an anchor works.
When a boat pulls into an anchorage, it's important to know your depth. You don't want to just drop anchor in endless fathoms of water. But more importantly, knowing your depth will tell you how much chain you need to put out. This is called scope. If you're in 20 feet of water and you put out 20 feet of chain, just enough to get the anchor to the bottom, your scope is 1-to-1, so it's a ratio. If you put out 40 feet of chain, your scope is 2-to-1, and so on.
Most cruisers will agree that a safe scope to have out is between 5 and 7-to-1. Now, of course, there are always exceptions to that, but as a general rule, when in doubt, let more scope out. No? No cut?
No.
That was good?
No, that was good.
Here are a few examples to help you picture what's going on below the surface. In this case, a boat enters an anchorage with a depth of 20 feet, drops anchor and backs away, letting out roughly 100 feet of chain, or a scope of 5-to-1. After giving the anchor a good tug to set it firmly in the bottom, the engine is placed in neutral, and the boat is pulled slightly forward as the chain comes to a natural resting position on the seabed. Something important to remember, with larger boats running solid chain rode, it's not actually the anchor that holds your boat in place, but rather the weight of the chain. The anchor is just there to keep the end of the chain in place. You see, with one end of the chain attached to your boat, and the other firmly attached to the anchor, it takes significant force to lift the chain off the seabed and straighten it out. There's actually a physics term for this called catenary that basically describes the behavior of a cable or chain when pulled at both ends. The heavier the chain or cable, the more force it takes to straighten it out. And when the force is removed, the chain returns to its natural resting position. In the boating world, we call this being up and down. As you can see, no force is being applied to the chain and its position is straight up and down. The second example is someone entering the same anchorage but only letting out about 50 feet of chain, a scope of less than 3-to-1. As they back away to set the anchor, you notice the angle is too steep and the anchor simply bounces and drags along the bottom. In the third example, a boat anchors, putting out about 70 feet, slightly more than 3-to-1, and thankfully it holds. But they forgot to check the weather forecast, and that night a strong blow came in, and between the steep angle of scope and the lack of additional chain weight, the anchor drags. And lastly, in the same anchorage, a boat comes in whose captain did his due diligence, checked the weather forecast, and knows a storm is coming. He puts out more than enough chain, something I call storm scope, 8, 9, even 10 to 1. The storm comes, and between the weight of the chain and the shallow angle of force on the anchor, it holds, giving captain and crew peace of mind and confidence in their tackle and technique.
And there you have it, tackle and technique. And that's how we anchor on SV Bully. Oh, and you made it to the end. So now I get to tell you about the one anchor that I absolutely hate. Okay, it's actually two. The first one is any anchor that someone just zings to the bottom and then piles like 80 feet of chain and a big ass cluster ball if I don't know what I'm doing on top of it, and then gets in his dinghy and leaves. That one. I hate that one. And number two.
Oh, this is gonna piss somebody off, I can just feel it.
Any plow style anchor. Yeah, I said it. That's not an anchor. That's a piece of farming equipment literally designed to drag around a field at a scope of like 10 to 1. So unless you plan on doing extensive underwater gardening, I suggest you sell it to a local farmer and buy yourself an actual anchor. Or a rock, or like an anvil. Anything but a plow.
Cut. Yeah, you're right. You're gonna piss some people off. Let's just end this.
Hey, thanks guys for watching that video. That was tons of fun making it. I'm sure my wife is like, oh my gosh, we've done so many takes of this to try to get all the goofy little lines right. What's going on here? God, it's all like right here. Just sort of dig. What am I doing? Like ad-libbing this weird? It's not the line, but it sounded good. Shout out to the director. Yeah. But it was fun, and that is how we anchor, tackle, and technique. Those are our two big things. We have that Vulcan 73-pound anchor, which we absolutely love. It's just a fantastic anchor. We really never have dragged anywhere. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and share the video, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what anchor you use. If you use a plow, I'm really sorry. I just never have had good experiences with plows. It is what it is. But yeah, if you agree with me, or if you have an anchor like this, or if you use Rockna, we love Rockna anchors. Tell me what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching. See you next time.